Hey everybody, this is Joseph, the Italian New Yorker, living here in rural North Dakota. Now I've been reading this interesting book here about Thanksgiving because it's actually a Thanksgiving Eve, and we've been cooking all day. Michelle and I are getting ready for Thanksgiving, and we've always had, well, at least I've always had growing up, always had the traditional Italian Thanksgiving, where we would do the antipasto, then we would do the pasta course. And then we would have the turkey and the potatoes and all of that stuff, and then stuffed artichokes and the good stuff. And then we would have the Italian pastries for dessert, and also pumpkin pie and apple pie and stuff like that. And it turns out that's not very far from what the original Thanksgiving meal was. It's a really interesting story. I'll quickly relate it to you. It seems that when the Pilgrims were living in England and they moved to Holland, as you know, and they didn't really like it there, so they decided they were going to come to the New World. So they chartered a boat, the Mayflower, to take them from Europe, from Holland, to the New World. Now, because it was a chartered ship, kind of like a cruise ship, it had a crew, and it also had a cook on board. Now, the cook was an Italian from Naples, and his name was Alfredo Bacala. Alfredo Bacala. He was a chef on the ship. Now, it took about 2 months for them to get across, and the Pilgrims, they were all mostly English, so they were used to eating like boiled potatoes and fish and chips and that kind of stuff. Well, anyway, so Alfredo Bacala is cooking, and he's making all this wonderful Italian food for them, and they're like loving it. They have 2 months of this trip where they're eating all this great food that they've never been exposed to before. So anyway, so they finally make it to the New World, and they land in Plymouth Rock, and they get off the boat. Now the Mayflower is going to head back, drop them off at the New World. It's going to head back. And of course, Chef Alfredo Bacala is going to go back with them. And they're like, no, Chef, you have to stay. You have to stay. We love your food. We love your food. You can't leave. You can't leave. So Chef Bacala decides, all right, you know what? I'll stay. So they have the first Thanksgiving, and guess who cooks? That's right, Chef Alfredo Bacala. And then he makes all the traditional, he makes the antipasto, he makes the pasta. Now, for the main course, which was really interesting, they found this new animal that they had never seen before, which was a turkey. Okay, so he had to do something with the turkey. So he's thinking and thinking and thinking, and he came up with a really special recipe. Okay, and he called it Turkey Alfredo. And he named it after himself, Turkey Alfredo. And actually, they loved it. It was the Pilgrims just loved it. And he went on, actually, not only did he do that recipe with turkey, but then he went on to do it with chicken as well. So we had Turkey Alfredo and Chicken Alfredo, and the Pilgrims loved them. But after a few years, he didn't really like living in Massachusetts much anymore because it was getting kind of cold, and he was Italian. He was used to the warmer weather. So he decided, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go down to New Orleans because he heard the weather was really nice in New Orleans. But of course, New Orleans was French at the time. So he figured I'll go there, I'll open up a restaurant. But, the last name like Bacala is very Italian. He figured I better Frenchicize, change my name to a French last name. So he changed his name to Alfredo Boyardee. It was a little more French sounding. And so he became Chef Boyardee. And as a matter of fact, that history tells us that's where he invented SpaghettiOs. Chef Boyardee down in New Orleans. And then he actually got married while he was down there. He met a lovely young lady. She was a baker. Her name was Sarah Lee Reynolds. Sarah Lee Reynolds. And she was very popular. All the boys loved her. Okay, because they said nobody doesn't like Sarah Lee. I mean, everybody loves Sarah Lee. So, but he actually managed to win her hand, and they lived very happily after that. And had a number of kids, and life was good. So anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But anyway, we're getting ready here for Thanksgiving. I'm doing a traditional Thanksgiving meal just like Chef Bacala would have made. And I'll show you here. Let's see. We got the antipasto ready. I got the breads. I got some nice caponata, some roasted red peppers. I made some arancini. We have some prosciutto and some cheeses. And over here, Michelle, she made a beautiful stuffing, and we have the sweet potatoes. And tomorrow I'm going to make some mashed potatoes and gravy as well. Got to have the mashed potatoes and gravy. Of course, there's our turkey. That's right. We got a 12-pound turkey for just Michelle and I, because that's all we're having. And then dessert, we got pumpkin pie. And also, I made, look at this, a nice ricotta pumpkin cheesecake, which is also a really interesting story. That's the original pumpkin pie. It was a ricotta pumpkin cheesecake. And they changed from cheesecake to pie. It was a little easier to say. But originally, the Italians came up with that too. So Anyway, guys, I hope you have a great Thanksgiving. We're going to have an authentic, just like Chef Bacala would have made, and we're looking really forward to it. So be well. Have a good time. It's just going to be Michelle and I, and I'm cooking for one of my friends who I'll bring the meal over to. So, and the great news, we got a ton of food here. So we're going to have a ton of leftovers, which is great, which I like. And then I'll even make my turkey soup. We'll save the carcass and I make the soup afterwards. So looking forward to that as well. So anyway, guys, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, and if you like my channel, please hit like. Thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate it. Oh, I forgot to one other thing I forgot to show you too. We also have, like as of last week, we have to see what this is. That's the beer from the Brockhouse Microbrewery. Oh yeah, so that's going to be good too. Looking forward to that. So happy Thanksgiving, everybody. We'll see you again soon. Bye.